Every night, I dread his presence. It was one time. "Don't stay up too late," Mum said one evening. "We'll be back." "Yeah," I said sarcastically. "Tell Aunt Emma I said hi." I looked on as Dad carried the last luggage through the door. He massaged his shoulder as I teased him. He rolled his eyes. "Listen to Mom," he said before disappearing into the darkness. A warm breeze swept into the hall. The crickets sang from the grass. "Sunday night, remember?" Mum winked at me and kissed my cheek. "Won't be long." "Today's Friday," I said. "I know." After saying goodbye, she reminded me, "Don't stay up too late unless you want to see Mr. Smiley come over." I scoffed. Mr. Smiley. A made-up boogeyman like Freddy Krueger. Something made up to scare kids from doing dumb stuff. But I was too big for that. Mom and Dad drove away in no time, and I finally had the whole house to myself. Friday night. A good night for video games. I stared at the clock in the living room. It ticked. It's almost 9. Perfect. The PlayStation 2 sat in front of the TV, just waiting for me. My collection of games neatly stacked in a small cardboard box beside it. I popped open a can of soda and plugged in my controller. I fingered through the first few games. Resident Evil 4, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Dynasty Warriors 4. I made a quick pick. It's time to beat Lu Bu. Time flew by and I cursed at the screen. My thumbs and fingers were sore. Lu Bu, the mightiest warrior of the Three Kingdoms, had beaten my ass too many times. Another try at the map, and after an intense button mashing, I failed. "I upgraded my best weapon!" I threw my controller across the room. "What the hell?" After playing a few more games, I checked the clock. It's almost 12. Midnight. Suddenly I remembered Mom's words. "Don't stay up too late unless you want to see Mr. Smiley come over." I scoffed again. A myth. I continued on with my games. Before I knew it, time reached 1 a.m. A few more rounds. I was getting drowsy. Turning off my console, I then checked the doors and the windows. It's really dark, and our neighbor's dog barked from outside. "Annoying dog," I muttered. "So annoying." As I kept checking, I jumped as I heard fast tap, tap, tap sounds on one of the windows. Solid taps. Scrambling, I grabbed the broom for defense as I approached it. The taps grew louder. My blood rushed and I screamed at it to stop. I tapped back, and the tapping stopped. Mustering courage, I lifted the blinds in a flash and saw a pair of yellow eyes, its shaggy face pressed on the glass. I screamed, tapping the end of the broomstick against the window frantically. The thing hissed and ran away. Next, I swallowed my breath and waited a few minutes in case it came back. Saw nothing, but heard the dog barking and singing crickets. The moon shone silver blue. Damn cat. I rubbed my eyes. I need to sleep soon. Another quick round showed nothing, and I relaxed, figuring I was just hearing things. I slumped into the couch and realized how soft it was. My eyes peeked one last time at the clock. 1:30. Everything was fine until I woke up. I had the weirdest feeling. The lights were still on, and the clock had just struck 2. One more look around, and I screamed. My heart went insane as I faced a very tall person in front of me. Goosebumps, and I fell on the floor. I didn't know what or who it was, but I thought it was Big Bird's ugly cousin or something. No idea. Who the hell are you? I crawled backwards against the wall away from the couch. What are you? This thing, a monster, maybe 6'5", had a pale yellow oval face with no nose. The eyes glowed evil red through the sockets, and the head was covered in purple feathers. The body downwards was covered in either thick brown fur like a grizzly or feathers like a fat turkey. But there's something wrong about those long nails or claws. Who are you? This thing smiled at me and cracked out in insane laughter like the Joker. Don't you recognize me? Those words made my skin crawl. I'm Mr. Smiley. I felt my skin drop. Was this really him? The stupid boogeyman that every parent warned us kids about? I wanted to pretend, closing my eyes, then opening them. But I felt Mr. Smiley's breath. He was real. I tried to get away as he came closer. Have you been naughty tonight? He raised his large hand. Let me give you a smile. Fast as lightning, I dodged Mr. Smiley's swipe. A flower vase broke, and I used that moment to run. Thank God I was one of the fastest kids in school. Those running sessions in gym class really paid off. As I ran, I cried. I tried every doorknob upstairs. Nothing could open for some reason. The bathroom, the hall closet, my parents' room. Nothing. Mom and Dad had a strict rule against locked doors. It's so weird. I scrambled as I heard creaking from the stairs. It took me a minute to realize. He's coming. Where are you? Mr. Smiley's shadow along the wall grew taller and taller. Why play hide-and-go-seek? My heart pounded and my hands sweated as I inched along the wall a few feet away. My breathing was a bit thrown off. Mr. Smiley's shadow grew until he reached the landing. I held my breath and glanced at a crack of a door ahead of me. My room. Come out, little mouse. Mr. Smiley's eyes glowed dark red in the dark. Let me give you a smile. Not a second later, I ran for my room. My footsteps were softer than his, but I dared not check. I didn't even think of his heavy footsteps behind me as I dove into my room and locked the door. I hid under my bed and heard the loudest scratch ever. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I put my hands to muff my ears. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I thought it would never stop, so I screamed. Okay, I'm finally going to sleep now. I'm smiling. I said it over and over until the scratching stopped. Finally, it was over. Or was it? I trembled and swallowed. Was it really over? Slowly, I propped myself against the door. Nothing. I knocked in case. Nothing. I felt like I couldn't move, thinking the monster is still there. 6 long minutes, like forever. Until I got the courage again and managed to peek through the crack. Oh, wow. Mr. Smiley's gone. I laughed nervously. So stupid. Relieved, I went out into the downstairs hall. Had to call the cops. I called their number and waited. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I had somebody break into my house. Before I could go on, I heard something dragging along the floor. I froze. I was speechless as Mr. Smiley held on to the other phone. Hello? His voice was an imitation of the operator's. Can you describe the situation you're in now? I only screamed as the boogeyman scooped me up in his furry arms like it's nothing. He smiled at me as he raised his long, nailed hand. Now smile, he said. I blacked out after that. The next time I woke up, I was tucked into bed. I felt like crap. As I tried to remember what happened last night, I found scratch marks all over my door. Huge scratch marks. Worse, spots of red. And sharp pain. My mouth hurt like hell, and I reached for my dresser mirror. I almost lost myself. From lip to cheek, on both sides were nasty scars. Still bleeding. Like a bloody smile. I looked like the Joker. My hair stood up as I read bloody red letters smeared on the red side of the glass. S. M. I. L. E. It's still there even as I type this down years later. I can still see the scars Mr. Smiley has left on me. And I will try not to stay up late nowadays, now that I'm older. I still dread his return. Mom's right. Dad's right. All the parents are right. Should have listened. Mr. Smiley's not some made-up thing to scare kids from doing dumb things. Not something from the movies. Mom's the only one who believed me when the cops didn't. The report was filed, but it never seemed to go anywhere. Labeled as a cold case because, despite proof, because of what happened to me, we have since moved cross country. Time may have flown by, but the fact remains. I know what I saw. I know what I felt that morning. So let me tell you again. Mr. Smiley's real. Because right now, he's scratching at the door. He wants to give me another smile. So that was a story by the great economy candidate 299. You can find more of their work on Reddit, on No Sleep, and on their own personal subreddit, The Tales of EC 299. Please check out their work. You can find it, a link to it down in the description below. Please check them out and support their work because, they're a fantastic author, and they were kind enough to offer this story for me to narrate on the channel today. As always, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Really appreciate you all watching the video today, and thanks again for checking out the channel. I'll see you again next time.